Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more variable Barricade. Every fucking day it's something new up in this shit, isn't it? So like, cool thing, I was like, I'm gonna try to go into work next week for me. You know, my manager's like, don't. It's fine. Wait until the doctor says you can drive. And I'm like, okay, sweet. I mean, I was gonna at least, like, I have to stay home because the doctor told me I can't drive. I'm like, I can get a doctor's note. I'm not fucking lying. It's not like I'm like, I can't. I mean, like, the doctor legitimately told me you could black out while you're driving. Don't fucking drive. It's kind of stupid. Well, she didn't quite say that. She says, well, okay. She was more like, it's probably not a good idea. And I'm like, but you didn't. Technically, she did say, like, utilize Friends or Uber, something. So technically, she did tell me not to drive. Not exactly in those words. So, of course, I'm like, she didn't exactly say not to. I need someone to be like, don't do it. And I was still debating. I'm like, maybe I'll still go into work. I had to have both my friends be like, don't fucking do it, jackass. I know. I'll cave to peer pressure. But, like, not like, okay, it's not going to be any different when I'm sitting at home or sitting at work, except for the fact that I have to put on clothes to go to work. Okay. I mean, I wear clothes at home, just not dress clothes. You know what I mean? I am missing out on spending the end of September dressing in my Halloween clothes and, like, what the fuck? So I guess October and November is fucking Halloween then. Like, whatever. So I'm missing out on that. Okay. I don't get to wear all my fun Halloween shit. But also, like, the benefit of being home is, like, I'm in between calls. Well, I bought Disney's Dreamlight Valley today. Didn't play that, but here's my thing. Someone who fucking has played it and knows, tell me. Because, well, by the time you see this, I might have figured it out. But someone, for fuck's sake, help me. I'm fucking old. I watched all these videos. Well, not all of them. I watched, like, one. She's going through the character customization. I was like, oh, look at all the cool fucking outfits you can put on and everything. And this was, like, before the game came out. Like, before the early access period started, right? I did not know that it was early. Look, I didn't do my research, okay? I watched the character customization with, this looks fun, I'm gonna do it. Okay? I have none of those clothes. I mean, I have the ones that I paid for with the Founders Packs, right? But all the ones, because she was using it on Steam, she was doing it before the early access where you could at least create your avatar. Kind of like The Sims. They were like, here's the Sims, the create a Sim, and here you go. And then you can create your Sim before you play the game. Or like, Create a Pet came out before you could create a pet. You know what I mean? Like that shit. So you could play around with it. But like all the clothing, all the accessories, all the custom, all that shit, none of that exists in the motherfucking game. And I'm like, do I have to do that on Steam? And then upload my thing into my game? Because I just played for like an hour and a half, 2 hours today at work. Okay, it was probably like an hour or so. Like I didn't get too far in, but I'm like, but I just wasted an hour and I'm going to have to start a whole new game because I can't change the fucking avatar that I have because I can't put the clothes on it that I want to because those are, like, what the fuck? Tell me that shit. What the Or does it unlock later? Like, maybe it's like, well, right now you literally only have that basic fucking top and those pants, girl, and maybe the shit you paid for. So it's okay. But, like, you don't have all the other fun shit because you've got to, like, progress further into the game. But no one tells you that. It's like, here's how to change your avatar. Go into your thing and go in the wardrobe. No, that's not where any of that shit is, though. So, like, fucking A. And, like, what the hell? So, like, the people who use the Steam version and upload it have really fun outfits now, and I gotta wait for it? I mean, that's fine. But, like, I just want to know. I don't want to be, like, 5 hours into the game and then be like, oh, no, you can't. And then I have to, like... Plus, it's also stupid. You'd have to do it on Steam and then upload your avatar, but then you can't access any of the other cool clothes to, like, change your wardrobe later in the game at all. Because you can only upload one character, so you'd have to start a new game every time. That doesn't make any sense. So you have to be able to unlock it later, but, like... Fucking A! Nobody tells you this, and I feel like my mother trying to understand a computer right now, and maybe it's just because my brain doesn't work right, or I'm fucking old. I don't know, but anyway, that's my 5-minute rant, and this is what you come here for, isn't it? You don't come here to play Atome games. Also, I'm a little fucking mad, because... Which one of them? I don't even remember. Was it Axis? Was it Idea Factory? One of those motherfuckers, I can't remember which game it was like, hey... Your shit shipped on the 13th, and you know what? It's several days later, and it hasn't fucking moved. So you send me the ship notification, and I'm excited, waiting like FedEx. It's gonna get here, and it hasn't even actually. You didn't drop it off. You just like marked it shipped, but it hadn't fucking shipped, and I'm mad. I'm actually pretty sure it's Idea Factory because Axis. I think it's my amnesia because I don't feel Fjordo is Axis. Well, I can't remember who does what. Look, that is definitely like my brain tumor. Can't remember anymore. But like one of them. Whichever one Axis is doing. Axis is doing Il Fiore 1926, right? Anyway. You have to log into your account, and I don't think I bought it on an account. I think I just went straight and paid through PayPal, so I can't access, like, if I go into my account, it's like, you don't have any orders, and I'm like, this seems like bullshit. Like, I have the receipt, like, I know I bought it, but then I can't track the shipping, and I'm like, I feel like this happened to me once before, and that's why I, like, actually logged in, but, like, now I have no idea how, do I have multiple accounts? Maybe? I don't know, but, like, I don't know, so I can't see if it shipped, because someone said they didn't get the ship notification, but when they checked their account, it showed that it shipped, and I'm like, I can't check my account, because apparently I didn't buy it through my account somehow. Listen! It has been a day. I'm also extremely fucking tired and hungry. But anyway. Let's get back into Ichiya. Oh my god, right! I forgot, because it's been a day. The drama! Oh! Fun! Anyway. What he fears most. Ichiya is stunned by the arrival of his twin brother. Moreover, Kazuya makes a declaration. Oh! And Ichiya's gonna... I'm sure we're Ichiya right now. The Spacey walked away, looking over his shoulder at us in concern. I watched her leave and then turned my attention back to Kazuya. I mean, okay, again, in that fucking CG, Kazuya was like, dude, fine AF. But to be dead honest, between the two of them, I'm picking Ichiya, because I do find Ichiya more attractive. Like, I don't know. And maybe it's because we've just grown to love him, and like, but like... And that CG, though, they knew what they were doing. They were like, here you go. Here's Kazu without his stuff on. And you're like, oh my god, Ichiya, it's no wonder everybody loved him better. He's super hot. And then you go to the sprites and you're like, oh, you know what? I take it back, actually, Ichiya. I love you better. Choking to death. Come on, don't give me that evil look. It's been ages since we last talked. Let's find a nice bar and that's unnecessary. I cut him off without changing my expression. He sighed and rolled his eyes. God, how come you're being so prickly? The last time we saw each other was, what, when you left after the Mitsumori family adopted you? That was ages ago. Oh my god! He left his family and got adopted by someone else. Did they give him up because all the shit that's running through my head, like, poor Ichi is like, well, actually, my family, they had twins, and they like my brother better, so they gave me up for adoption. I'm sure it was more like they took him in and he lived with them, but still, you ran away from home because your family just was like, whatever, we got another one. All the fucking possibilities are just so sad, but so funny. Oh, game, you're so mean to poor Ichiya. No wonder he cries. Oh... You never called either. Everyone back home is worried about you. I'm sorry, but the way Kazuya looks right now, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Worried, huh? Yeah, you left the Shinzaki family, but it isn't as if we disowned you or anything. Our relationship hasn't changed. At least, I don't think it has. I don't have a clue as to why you've gone to such great lengths to avoid us for this long. Again, the look on his face says he knows. I bit down on my lip hard, and my eyes reflexively dropping away from his face. No, wouldn't, would you? Hell, even I couldn't fully swallow the whole issue. I was still running from it, mentally and emotionally. But there was one thing I did know. I left the Shinzaki family for one big reason. I'd given up on myself. That family only needed Dad, Mom, and Kazuya. The three of them had each other. There was an awkward spare part. You know, it would be funny if they're like, no one ever said we didn't love you. We were proud of Kazuya because he freaking got an A on his test, and then you just ran away. You were like the weirdest 9-year-old, and you know what? Wow, you really are dramatic, Ichiya. Always been dramatic. And that would be funny, but like, it kind of almost just undermines the whole like nobody ever loved me thing. Instead of being like, wow, no, you just need some therapy. It's more like, well, no, your family was awful. You know what I mean? I feel like it's more legit if his family was actually fucking awful to him. I wasn't worthy of being in the family. It ate at me. I took the first chance I had to just run away. See, this makes it sound more like he's a drama queen. It's a stupid, childish reason. There's no way I could ever admit it to Kazuya. When I didn't say anything, he leaned forward to look me in the face. Ichiya, this is just a guess, but are you still letting that incident bug you? Again, it was probably something so childish and stupid, and he ran away. His words hit me like a slap. I flinched automatically. Kazuya rolled his eyes again and sighed. Like, Ichiya, you're being fucking stupid and overdramatic. But, you know, it makes sense for Ichiya. He's kind of fucking overdramatic, isn't he? I figured as much. I told you, you can forget about it. You actually did me a big favor. Hell, because you took action, I was able to... Stop! Just stop! Oh, I wonder if, like, this is the marriage fraud thing coming in, like... Maybe he did has something to do with some girl that, like, maybe, Kazuya was gonna marry or something, and then, like, whatever. Like, it saved me! That girl was money-grubbing whore! Like, I mean, I don't know, you know what I mean? That isn't what I wanted to talk about. I gritted my teeth and stared resolutely at my shoes. If I didn't do something to get myself together, I was afraid he'd notice me shaking. Okay. If it still bothers you that much, I won't bring it up. Talk about what you want to talk about. I don't know why my brain couldn't read that. Spacey, what are you to her? Nothing much, really. I'm a listening ear for her every now and again. I give her advice. Smarmy look on his goddamn face. Advice? Yeah, we first met when I saw her in the street getting harassed by some rando. I saved her from him, and we've chatted off and on ever since. Though when I realized she was the Tojo family heir, I had to wonder about the coincidence. Coincidence, huh? Kazuya and coincidence were not two words that went in the same sentence. I frowned inwardly. I knew all too well that almost nothing he did was mere coincidence. Completely unbothered by the look I shot at him, he chuckled to himself, especially because why was he walking around in the hat and the sunglasses? If it was quote-unquote coincidence. You know what I'm saying? It seems more like he was... I mean, because, like, I doubt many people would recognize him if he was dressed normal. But he had to know. And, like, I just happened to bump into her. You were kind of stalking us, or you had someone, like, harass me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you were following me and that incident just popped up and you were like, oh, this works. But you definitely, the hat and the sunglasses were part of the ruse because you knew. Like, you know what I mean? You were in disguise. You were, like, wearing a fake fucking mustache, basically. Not really. That would have been funnier, though. And I really did just give her some general advice. I never told her my name. I was just the nice guy who listened when she needed to vent. Though most of the time she just vented about her suitors. The irony wasn't lost on me when I found out you were amongst them. Just general advice, huh? Like what? That I won't say. She took me in her confidence. I'll respect her privacy. But if you're really that curious, how about you try talking to her directly? Ask her if I told her any weird stories about you. Weird stories? You're just as easy to read as ever, Ichiya. Your doubt in me is scrawled all over your face right now. That's because you're kind of a douche. I'm here for it. Like, anything that's gonna make Ichiya maybe, like, get a little worked up and cry. I'm here for it. Because, like, I'm into that shit. Apparently. Don't understand how much I want to see Ichiya cry again. I don't understand it either. I'll say it again. I honestly didn't do anything all that special besides give her some advice. Surely you can tell that much just from how she reacted around me. Tell that much just from how she acted around me. I didn't do anything deliberately to sell her on me, and I didn't expose your connection to me. However, I've wanted to marry her for some time now. Now that I know her, that hasn't changed. Well, is that all the information you wanted out of me? I wonder if, like, a bad end in Ichia's is, like, we fucking marry his brother. That would be amazing. I'm just saying. But, like, poor fucking Ichia's like, I'm here to do this, and then my brother's got his... And, like, I'm gonna guess it is some kind of weird twin sibling rivalry. Like, something happened, and, like, his brother just... I kind of get the... I mean, it would make sense, right? If his brother was always better, and that's why he's like, they only need him. I'm just the average student, and he's wonderful. You know what I mean? So he, like, runs away. And maybe the whole marriage fraud thing had something to do with another piece of it. But, like, if he always just felt inferior to his brother, and then now he's like, oh, okay, I'm in this house, and I just want someone to love me, and, like, whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, the girl you're wooing, you just find out your brother's like, yeah, I've always had my sights on her, and you're like, fuck, this bitch gets everything! What are the odds? You know what I mean? Poor Ichiya! Seriously, sweetie, you'll feel better if you cry. Spacey's got lots of issues. Unlocked, anyway. I grimaced, but didn't say anything. Kazuya nodded, satisfied. I told you what you wanted. Now it's your turn to tell me what I want to hear. It happened in a blink. His eyes went from warm and kind to cold and sharp, like a predator sizing up its prey. Yeah, because I don't think anything about him was ever warm. You know, Ichiya, do you have any idea how I felt when I heard you'd infiltrated the Tojo household as one of her suitors? It was a shock. A big shock. I mean, you know how long marrying Spacey has been part of my plans. Don't you think it's appropriate that that the entire Shinzaki family considers your action to be akin to betrayal? So, Ichiya knew. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting! I kind of figured, like, he left a long time ago and then had no clue, and now it makes it sound like he does, so... Well, that thought had worried me, gnawing away in the corner of my mind. I'd left the Shinzaki family and then became a suitor for the woman Kazuya had been after. Again, so it sounds like you knew. Ichiya! Shade runs in your family! That is like bone marrow deep, motherfucker. That shit's just pumping out in your blood. In the eyes of the family, that was easily a blatant betrayal. Yeah, but you left them and you don't even have the same last name, so, like, what does it matter? But I sat, frozen in silence. Kazuya watched me without saying a word. He's gonna be like, you need to leave, and we're gonna be like, okay. No, don't you dare, Ichiya. He was waiting to see how I reacted to his accusation before making his next move. What do I say now? I know he isn't going to budge until I tell him something. But what? And how do I phrase it? You don't have a fucking chance in hell, bitch! Punch him in the face and run. Ha! I kid. Did I go a little overboard, maybe? Huh? I stared at him dumbfounded. He laughed for a good minute before he finally decided to speak. Ah, well, I'd like to think I have a good idea on how it happened. You weren't a Tojo suitor because you somehow managed to infiltrate your way in. Takamune Tojo himself invited you to join the pack. I have the feeling that he really doesn't want me to have his granddaughter. Ah, no, actually, you know what? That makes sense, because he was like, he's good on paper. And everything he says, you're like, this guy sounds good. Is this guy... Well, obviously not Kasuga now, but, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, he sounds great on paper. And she's like, why didn't you just set me up with him? And he's like, He's like, I don't like this bitch. Marry his brother instead. That'll stick it to him. Grandpa's devious, and I kind of love him a little more now. I mean, like, we loved him a while back. We're like, he's kind of on your side. He's just doing it in a douchey kind of way, but it's kind of fun, right? A little bit of an asshole, but it's for your own good. And he's helping you, you know, in his weird-ass fucking way. But, like, this is great. You're like, you know, you just got extra points for this. Like, I hate this bastard. Marry his brother. I don't think he hates me, though. I mean, I don't get that impression. You ever hear anything about how he feels? He looked at me, his eyes still dancing merrily. I reflexively looked away, and it's like he is definitely the dominant brother, and fuck, poor Ichi is just goddamn his whipping boy. Just make him cry. Why was it me? Why not Kazuya? I did ask about that once.
I chose you over him for a reason.
Because I believe you understand better than anyone what it means to love and to be loved in return. You believe you understand more than anyone. He's like, no one's ever loved me though. If I'm being honest with myself, that only made me wonder even harder if I was the right choice. But I still had to take it, and this was probably the last shot I was going to get. I had to grab at any straw I could reach, so I accepted the invitation. That sounds really awful, though. Like, I had to take whatever I could get. This is like my last shot. And you're like, ouch? Slightly insulting, but okay. Not that I can tell Kazuya any of that, of course. He must have realized that I wasn't going to say anything, because after a moment he spoke up again. Ichiya, I can't say I know why you decided to become a suitor, but I want to make sure you understand something about this. The Tojo family and the Shinzaki group are two huge corporations. Both their futures are riding on my marriage to Spacey. Did they actually mention Shinzaki? Maybe they might have. Like, and that's why you wouldn't have known, because, like, the last name or whatever. Anyway. This is not an issue that can be, or deserves to be, decided purely for sentimental reasons. I'm just gonna take a step back here, bitch. You're trying to tell this to Ichiya like it is your fucking decision. First of all, it's not your fucking decision. If my grandfather wanted me to marry you for business reasons, he'd have just signed and been like, good idea, and then checked it off and not given a fuck. But that's not what he did, so shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. Put your stupid hat back on and get the fuck out of here. Kasuga, take out the trash. And while you're at it, could you pick up Ichiya? Because he's just huddled in the ball crying again, and I can't handle it. Where's Nayuta? He can carry him. It's fine. There it is. Poor, pure Kazuya. I didn't think that he was entirely wrong. Not about everything. When you run a business, especially one as large as the Shinzaki Group, you need to do things differently than a normal family. You need to make different choices. I understand that. Really, I do. But even with that in mind, this is just too... Isn't your line of thought really callous about Spacey's own thoughts and feelings? Oh? How so? He's like, I mean, especially because he's wormed his way. I told you he was being shady. He's like, no, sweetie, just tell me how. So it's like, you're such a conniving bastard. And the way you're, like, the look on his face right now. Well, she's still a high school student. She's young and naive about a lot of things in the world. It would hurt her if she was forced to base her life around other people's convenience. You're too soft, Ichiya. What? Yes, Spacey is naive. In fact, I'd say she's so pure she practically shines like a saint. But she's no one's fool. She's wiser than her years. She knows that her life ought to be dedicated to doing what's best for the family. Part of that is marrying for reasons other than love. She understands that. I say we comprehend that, but it doesn't mean we understand to the point where we're like, yes, no, I understand, and this is what I'll do. There's comprehension. I get what you're saying. And then there's understanding, which is more like, I understand. I will do it, and I have accepted that. I can comprehend what you want, that I should marry for the good of the family, but I don't quite understand it, because I am not ready to accept it. I feel like understanding is like, kind of like you get the like, I understand. I may not like it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm going to do my duty, whatever the fuck. But like, yeah, and that's kind of like what he's saying. Like, she understands. I mean, not really. I get what you're saying, and I know that that's what people want, but like, I'm not ready to be like, yes, I understand. I will do that. Nah, I'm not ready to take that understanding leap. You know what I mean? Comprehend it. Not willing to fucking fully understand it to the point where I just do it blindly and I pretend I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Well, maybe, but just so you know, I've been holding back on a lot of things lately. There are plenty of things I could have done but haven't, for your sake. For me? Yeah, I have methods I could use to give the marriage talks a bit of a push. If you weren't involved, the two of us would be formally betrothed by now. And that's kind of bullshit, but whatever. But since you're one of Spacey's suitors, I've been stuck waiting and watching Mr. Takamuni's ability to read and anticipate things. Oh no, okay, never mind. Wow, I read that as one sentence. But since you're one of Spacey's suitors, I've been stuck waiting and watching. Mr. Takamune's ability to read and anticipate things is pretty remarkable. Kazuya shook his head and chuckled. Then he looked at me, his eyes still dancing. See, I don't think he's like acting like he's got like a full fucking like, I don't do poker. What's the fucking best hand? Anyway, he sounds like he's like, I got a great hand. He's so fucking bluffing. He's like, I've got the power and I could do this, but I'm not because you're there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but it's not because he can't. Because you don't. You want Ichiya to chicken the fuck out, walk the fuck away, so then you can. I can't believe my brother did that to you, but it's okay. And then like, you've manipulated your way in, because he knows goddamn well she doesn't want any of this. So being forced to marry you is not gonna be happy. But like, conning her into making the choice, a little bit better, because then it's gonna take us a while to be like, did I actually make this choice or was I conned into it? Shit, wait. No, I'm happy with it, I guess, because, you know what I mean? Because you made the choice. So there's something psychological in your brain that goes, no, I made this decision. And you're like, did you, though? Not really. Kazu fucking manipulated you into it. And then manipulated Ichiya into running away and quitting and all this stuff. And he manipulated the situation so that you think you made this choice, but you're like a fucking puppet. Masterful. Ichiya, this is why your family didn't need you. They have the fucking evil supervillain. My god, all he needs is a fucking supervillain lair and like... Or like roll. This is his like freaking... Oh my god, this is his evil supervillain. Actually, this would be Ichiya's like more evil supervillain origin story because his brother's so evil, but like Ichiya can't pull it together or even be anything. It's fine. We're screwed. But you know... Hearing how the two of you are getting along from Spacey yourself, I started to think it'd be okay with you. I started to think it'd be okay with you guys getting married, and I think it's supposed to say I started to think I'd be okay with you guys getting married instead. Not it'd be okay. What's it? Huh? Whether it's you or me, as long as one of us marries her, the Shinzaki family can still publicly claim a connection to the Tojo family. Spacey does have reservations about your past, but she doesn't seem entirely against the idea. You could have wrapped up the whole thing in a tidy little bow with tonight's date. Yeah, he's just trying to manipulate Ichiya into like, yeah. But you didn't. You didn't tell her your past. You immediately chose the path that spared your delicate little heart from a bit of suffering. What? No, that isn't it. I said that I'd tell her everything. I just needed time to get everything sorted in my head first. She said she was okay with that. Really? When you get everything sorted, huh? So, when's that gonna be? Well, my mouth moved a few times, but no words came out. Kazuya gave me a patronizing smile. We have a whole long-ass board to go. Ichiya, listen, the world isn't kind. You can't always stroll along at your own leisurely pace. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he knows that. He's fucking shared a womb with you. And you can bet there's no room for leisurely strolls in the life of the Tojo family heir. Know that? I did. At least, I thought I did. I like to think I've given you plenty of time. I had high expectations for you. I kind of feel like you didn't, but you're trying to make him feel worse about himself. But tonight, you let the chance of a lifetime slip right through your fingers because you were too weak. Sorry, but I'm not going to wait any longer. At this point, it's become possible that some other man might come along and steal her away from me. Yeah, there's 3 other ones in the house. Also my butler. I'm just waiting for the chance that I can fucking run away with my butler. Some other man? Who? You don't seriously think we're the only ones who want to marry the Tojo family heir? Mr. Takamune can only hold back the flood for so long. So now, I'm going to start making moves of my own. Kazuya dumped salt in my wounds, then declared war on me. And I couldn't refute a word of what he said. It's okay, Ichiya. I know the future. You're gonna be fine, sweetie. It was all the truth. Spacey had thought things over on her own, deciding to give me a chance. She offered me kindness and I still ran away. I was just that terrified of getting hurt. Yeah, you're gonna get hurt now if you don't just fucking open up, though. You know what I mean? What are your options? Open up and get hurt? Don't open up and get hurt. I mean, you could open up and be fine. Like, I mean, seriously. Don't open up, get hurt because your brother steals her away from you. Open up, and you have a 50-50 chance of getting hurt or being okay. Like, I'm just saying, you have nothing to lose, right? Disgusted at myself, I bit my lip and looked at my feet. Again, he's done this several times. Kazuya watched me and his expression softened. I get you, Ichiya. Spacey's cute. She's sweet and incredibly attractive. I completely understand why you're so fixated on her. But think. Yes, she's a girl, but she's also the next head of the Tojo family. Do you think you could handle the responsibility of being her husband? Oh, what I've told you this before, Ichiya. You aren't cut out for the business world. You're too soft. He's gonna go home and cry now! You know, Kazu, I'm really mad at you for being a dick to Ichiya, but I'm also here for it because he's gonna cry, and I love it. Well, you don't look at the thorny path to power as an entertaining challenge to overcome. Not the way I do. You're searching for a more normal, more everyday kind of happiness. That's the whole reason you left the family, right? I couldn't say that he was wrong, but I couldn't say that he was entirely right either. Kazuya simply couldn't understand how I felt. For twins, it was almost crazy how different we were. I know, right? You got the soft and he got just a complete asshole. Kazuya, It's okay, Ichiya. There are plenty of other girls out there who are much better suited to you. Other girls. And he's thinking about everyone. Oh, Ichiya, it's okay, sweetie, I'll take care of you. My mind went blank. Others? Like, someone who's not Spacey? Gonna flash back to all those girls. It's fine, really. Even I sometimes give in to panic and lose my self-control. Besides, you don't exactly come to mind when I think of stoic coolness. But you know what? I think I like you better when you're sulking and crying than when you're flirting and tipping that aggravating wink of yours at me. He's like, well, good, because I'm gonna go home and cry now. Now, that's all right. You won rock, paper, scissors fair and square. Besides, I enjoyed the movie we wound up seeing. Anyway, I prefer not getting my way on occasion instead of you ignoring your own wants and deferring to me on every little thing. Fine, Kazu. She likes it when you let her make all of the decisions. Never make a single one. And he's like, shows you, motherfucker. Ichiya, I'm just gonna need you to stab your brother. Memories of her rushed through my mind, her words pummeling me back to my senses. No, and there isn't anyone else out there who can hold a candle to Spacey. Damn right. For me, it has to be Spacey. I don't want any other girl. None. I'm serious about her. I want to do everything I can to make her happy no matter what. And I definitely don't want to let you have her when all she is to you is a business transaction. I paused for a breath, my shoulders heaving damn straight. Look at you! Oh, ballsy. Kazuya stared for a second, then lifted his brows in surprise. Why didn't you expel that little rant when she was still here to see it? If you had, she wouldn't have left feeling so concerned. And that hesitation is one of your biggest failings. My twin put a polite smile on his face and straightened his back. Having seen your choices today, Ichiya, I've made my decision. If you want to resist, go ahead. But this is now a contest, and I will not hold back. You're gonna fucking lose! You know what? You know what the funny thing is like, you know Ichiya's gonna win, but the anxiety kicks in as you're like, oh no, Ichiya, it's gonna be hard. It's really not. I mean, the road is gonna be bumpy, and we're gonna get to the end. It's gonna be fine, but like, you know. Well, 100% know for a fact, in the happy ending, we're gonna be with Ichiya, right? But yet, there's still, you're like, but I'm a little worried for you at the same time. You know that I don't make wagers unless I'm confident I'll win, right? Oh, I cannot wait to invite you to the wedding. I glared at him in silence. After a second, he took one deliberate step forward. If you're afraid of getting hurt, back out now. It's for your own good. No, don't do it! See ya. I stood still and watched Kazuya walk away. Without thinking, my lips began to move. Afraid? Me afraid of getting hurt. Even now, the words were in circles in my head, distracting me long beyond the point where Kazuya vanished into the crowd. This is, like, not something that a fucking teenage girl should deal with, is all I'm saying, okay? Ichiya Board 3. When he was Ichiya Shinzaki. Ichiya thinks back on the days before he became a Mitsumori, when he was Ichiya Shinzaki. Love it. Ah, we're Ichiya again. Before I was adopted into the Mitsumori family, I lived my life as Ichiya Shinzaki. Do we get like a fucking baby Ichiya? Because you know we've gotten baby everybody, right? We've seriously seen everybody as a child. And I'm just wondering, is this the moment? Is this the moment where did we get a CG on this one? I don't know. But, like, we're gonna have a flashback and see baby fucking Ichiya, and it's gonna fucking kill me. My father was a man who loved his job, and my mother was a calm and dignified lady, a daughter of a wealthy family. Born to them were twin sons, Kazuya and myself. Though we were born as twins and look identical on the outside, the inside the two of us couldn't be more different. Wow, I can't reading is. I was thinking, wow, I'm having difficulty reading, and it just came out. Anyway, on the inside, the two of us couldn't be more different. I'd even say we were polar opposites. Stop it! Look at his sad little face! That has to be Ichiya because he's the only one with sad eye. Oh my god, everything about him when he's sad, I just love so much. Like, this is me as a kid. You know, sometimes I'd be like, oh, look at Nayuta, he was adorable. Look at little baby Taka, it's so cute. Little precious Shion, right? It was a little goddamn princess, right? And then you see Ichiya and you're like, I love you the most of all because you're sad. What has this game done to me? Oh, Ichiya, what have you done to me? I swear to God. Oh, when you're sad, I love it the most. Anyway. Your grades tend to fluctuate a lot, Ichiya. Your last report card was decent, but this latest one has dropped significantly. Why is that? I don't know how to do baby Ichiya voice. Anyway. I'm sorry. I'm not asking for an apology. I want to know why. We can't work on a solution if we don't know what's causing the issue. A lot of the not-so-smart kids in class asked him to help them study for the tests. He helped them so much he didn't have much time left to study himself. I kept telling him to let them be. Snotty. Kazuya! Why'd you have to tell? You didn't ask me to keep it a secret. Everybody knows you can't say no, so they take advantage of you. You don't know them anything. If they don't know how to study, that's their problem. This kid's a twat, even as a child. He came out of the womb as a douchebag. Correct. Changing others to your own detriment is a waste of time and energy. It's pure foolishness. Oh, the thought was there, sweetie, but I mean, they're not wrong. Like, you should be helping other people study, and that's nice of you, but, like, you should also worry about yourself first and foremost. But also, if you're helping them study, how did none of that retain into your goddamn brain? That's all I'm saying. Darling, you're being much too harsh. Ichiya's a kind boy. I'm sure he couldn't stand by and watch while his friends were struggling. Oh, thanks, Mom. Voice of reason in this hellhole. Yeah, that's right. I was just... But honestly, you're doing nothing but hurting yourself. You must be firm and turn them down. For a moment. Listen, Ichiya, being kind to others is a good and honorable trait, but you won't get far in life just by being nice. Now, we aren't telling you not to be kind. We're saying that you need to think carefully and be more logical. It will benefit you greatly in the long run. Okay, she's not entirely wrong. Like, yes, being kind is good, but sometimes you need to you can't be like, I gave all my food to other people so they weren't hungry and I starved to death. You can't do that. You know what I mean? It's not saying you hoard all your food, but, like, you can't give it all away. You can't spend all your time helping everyone study and then failing the tests yourself. You know what I mean? You have to, like, actually put yourself first sometimes, or actually be slightly selfish with, okay, I have 10 apples, but I have to eat one. I can give 9 away. There might be, like, 10 people that need apples, but I'm one of those, so that makes 11, so somebody's got to suffer. Or, you know, like, oh, okay, well, What if we take a little piece off of each person's apple and then give it so then everybody kind of has almost no. You know what I mean? Again, think logically about it instead of being like, I gave it away and I'm going to starve to death. You know what I mean? But like, maybe try to teach the kid the lesson in a softer way instead of being like, oh, he's just being kind, but stop it. You know what I mean? He's a sweet, innocent little fucking muffin. Just be gentle. Don't squish the little blueberries. He's literally a little blueberry muffin. Look at him. Look at him. He's so cute. I just want to squish his fucking head. Yes, Mom. I'm sorry. Anyway, Dad, about that children's tablet we were discussing before, I think that particular model is probably the best choice. Oh, but for its cost, its capabilities are only middling. And more than that, it's not projected to be popular with a parent demographic. Yeah, I know. The kids our age mostly just want to mimic adults, that's all. As long as the tablet looks cool and grown up, doesn't need many features. What an ass. Would you grow up to run Apple? The phone doesn't need to work. You pay extra for the buttons. I have an Android phone. I love all the fucking articles that come out every single time. Like, oh, all the new things on Apple, on iPhone is basically what everybody... and this brand new feature we just came out with. And like, Android's had that for like 10 years. What the fuck have you... You now have a calculator on your phone. You didn't have a calculator? Shit, man. What were you whipping out? Your TI-81? Like the do math problem? Like, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna guess they had a calculator. I had an iPhone once. Having iTunes on my phone was nice, but now I have Amazon Music, and I ragingly hate Amazon half the time. But yet, here we are. Anyway. Instead, I was thinking that maybe we could have a few exclusive apps designed for it to get more people interested. For example... Oh, now that's an interesting idea. Give me all the details. Relying on like a fucking 8-year-old. Okay, see, I asked a bunch of other kids in my class what they think of... Oh, you two, don't go overboard now. Like, he's like so business savvy, and then poor Ichia. No wonder why Ichia feels unloved. Ichia's like, I was just trying to help, and I got yelled at, and then my brother's over there making like fucking business deals with Dad. And Kazuya was great at anything he tried, and most notably he possessed all the instincts of a sharp businessman, even as a child. He was the perfect heir. He was an excellent and logical thinker. He was results-oriented. He was all about prompt decisions and prompt, efficient execution. And I just cried. Look at his sad little face. It's so precious. I love it so much. That sad little child crying is still inside you, and I'm here for it. He was a lot like our parents in that regard. But me? I couldn't help but pursue the things that interested me, even if others told me I was wasting my time. I enjoyed the process over getting results. And because of that, I was often left on the outside of my family's discussions, unable to follow what was going on. I constantly felt isolated, alienated. Why was I the only one like this? Why couldn't I be more like them? It was like I didn't belong in my own home. The one thing that kept me sane was... looking. Who's patting him on the head? Here, this is for you. Thank you for always being so helpful. It's got a very quiet level. Oh my, it's very kind of you to show such generosity to a mere servant like myself, Master Ichiya. It wasn't much. I mean, it's not like I'm good for anything like Kazuya is. Oh, come now, young master. Don't be down on yourself. Young Master Kazuya is so mature for his age that I couldn't possibly pat him on the head like I do you. Personally, I'm very fond of you. You're a good and kind boy who knows how to be sympathetic towards others. I hope you'll always stay just the way you are. Thanks. Look, his eyes are glossy, like they're gonna cry. Oh, excuse me? If you like, you can have this. Oh, how thoughtful. Thank you. This will be very helpful. I'd heard that the Shinzaki had another son. To think he'd be as charming as you. Thank you, miss. It's flattering to receive a compliment from such a beautiful lady. Oh, I thank you. What a lovely sentiment. Your name is Ichiya, correct? Why don't we go and snack together over there? And you don't have to mention this to your brother. Okay. Ichiya, please go out with me! You want to go out with me, not Kazuya? Yeah, Kazuya's nice, of course, but he always seems so preoccupied. Feels like he'd never take the time to look at me for who I am. But you're different. You're honestly nice to girls. Really nice. And you're so handsome and cool. It's like you're a real life Prince Charming. And then he became one, and then they're like, this gets boring after a while. Or fucking Ichiya. Or fucking Ichiya. You just never grow into a normal person. No, you're like the ideal boyfriend. What do you think about dating someone like you? I can't help but fall in love. Please, will you go out with me? Okay. Sure, I'll go out with you. I'm flattered you even feel that way about me. Thanks. I'll be sweeter to you than honeyed wine, my princess. And then she got over it fast. You know what's nice about that, though? I'm gonna be honest, Ichiya. I know, it's okay. But, like, this girl wasn't like, no, I like the guys who treat me like shit. That's why we're all under your brother. And he's like, but I'm actually, like, legitimately nice. Too nice. You're a doormat, but you know. As long as I was constantly flirty, fun, pleasant, and extremely nice, all the girls loved me. They picked me over Kazuya. I liked that. A lot. And by spending all my time around girls, I was able to carve out a place where I finally belonged. But no matter how much effort I put into it, I wasn't able to build a serious relationship in that niche. It's not you, honest. I feel so lucky that I got to spend time with someone so amazing, but, well, I was too happy, if that makes sense. Too happy? What's wrong with being too happy? If there isn't anything, then what was the problem? I have to move on from you, go back to real life and find someone who's more on my level. What do you mean, your level? Wasn't I good enough for you? When I was with you, I felt like I was a princess. That was incredible for a time, but it wasn't real. I'm not a princess. Not in real life. I know it's probably the girl saying this because it's in quotes, but since I don't have the text box over it, I'm just imagining he's like reiterating it to himself. You know what I mean? Or telling himself a story out loud. You were the one who wanted me to be your prince, so I treated you like a princess. I had the time of my life dating you, but it's time I started thinking about getting married, building a life. Being with you is a dream, but I have to wake up. It wasn't a dream to me. It was reality. I'm sorry. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm turning into a terrible person. I'm kinda scared you're spoiling to me too much, you know? You told me you liked it when I pampered you. You begged me to stay because you couldn't bear it when I was away. I know it must sound super selfish of me to say that a guy who's just plain nice isn't enough, but it isn't. Sorry. Goodbye. Thanks for everything. I just like making Ichiya dramatic. It's more fun. You said you bragged to others about how sweet a boyfriend you had. Was I stupid for believing you? I was exactly the man you wanted me to be. You know what we really want, Ichiya? You know the exact man we want you to be? The one you are inside, the real you. God, Ichiya, you're a total simp. You try so hard to be at a girl's beck and call, and it's so dull. She's a sharp one. She saw straight through the facade and looked directly at the real me. Flip that around, and it's like you're being all like, I made you happy, so no, you have to make me happy. Doesn't that sound kind of like a threat? No one really loved me. And basically, I was offering to play the part of the perfect boyfriend. The prince, the price was they needed to love me back. And I was okay with that, as long as they'd look at me instead of Kazuya. If I loved them, they'd love me back. That love was how I found self-affirmation and a sense of purpose. I hope you're telling us this and not talking to yourself. What else was I supposed to do? There was no other way for me to squirm out from under Kazuya's shadow. You're a perfect lover, yes, but I don't think the type of man I'd want to marry. You want me to leave it to you? Are you sure? I'll sue, you fraud! You want the Mitsumoris to adopt you? Ichiya, are you serious? Ichiya Mitsumori, if you choose, you may become a suitor for my granddaughter. The blare of a horn snapped me back to my senses. Reflexively, my eyes snapped up. The traffic light in front of me had turned green. I'd been so absorbed in my own thoughts I hadn't noticed the world was still functioning around me. Damn it! Seeing Kazuya has left me all addled. I let out a long sigh. I gently pushed down the accelerator and brought my car up to speed. I've told you this before, Ichiya. You weren't cut out for the business world. Too soft. You don't look at the thorny path to power. The thorny path to power is an entertaining challenge to overcome. Not the way I do. You're searching for a more normal, more everyday kind of happiness. That's the whole reason you left the family, right? The way Kazuya looked at me then. He was looking down on me the way he always did. It always terrified me when he did that, too. Having seen your choices today, Ichiya, I've made my decision. If you want to resist, go ahead. But this is now a contest, and I will not hold back. You know that I don't make wagers unless I'm confident I'll win, right? You're afraid of getting hurt? Back out now. It's for your own good. After Kazuya left, my mind went blank. It was sometime later when I came around enough to discover I'd somehow walked all the way to my car. Always been that way. I've never been able to stand up to Kazuya at anything. He's not just attractive on the outside, he's also extremely talented. He has a perfect personality, too. It's like, he's super hot on the outside! I mean, I am too, because obviously we have the same face, but like, you know what I mean? And he was going to steal Spacey away from me. Sweetie, I won't let that happen, because he wears stupid hats. Again, I like hats, but this motherfucker wears stupid hats. The minute that thought crossed my mind, I felt something cold and heavy settle down into the bottom of my gut. I was not in an appropriate mental state to drive. I pulled over to the side of the road and let my head sink into the steering wheel. It terrified me. That's all there was to it. Just thinking about it made me quiver uncontrollably. But, no. I just can't stand the idea of him stealing Spacey from me. Oh, there he is, all sad and befuddled. I love it. Oh. If the MVP of this route is this fucking flashback, I'm here for it. She looked in my eyes when I bawled like a baby in front of her. She said she liked the real me over the facade I'd built in hopes of making her fall in love with me. I love her. The realization hit me like a lightning bolt. I was scared, very, but I knew my feelings were true. So easy to say it. The words themselves are simple enough to say out loud, and yet, how come I can't even entertain the idea of fighting back against Kazuya? My hands were still trembling on the steering wheel. I could never hope to beat Kazuya. A terrified, childish corner of my brain wailed as much over and over. What am I supposed to do? I sat, waiting, hoping for the answer to come to me. I died in that car. Waiting. You have to talk to the boys. They'll help you. Sometime later, I found myself back at home. I couldn't quite remember how I made it there. I parked my car in the garage, and then trudged my way towards the front door. I don't want to go in. As soon as you finish discussing things with Kazu, arrange a place where we can talk. Understood? Spacey would be waiting for me. It was a story I had to tell her sooner or later. I knew that all too well. But I just didn't have it in me tonight. Couldn't handle any more stress. Hell, maybe I ought to just check into a hotel tonight instead. As soon as I thought about running away, the door I was standing in front of swung open. But the face that peeked outside wasn't the one I feared. It was probably Nayuta. Oh, it's Taiga. Okay. When I was like, talk to the boys, I was like, talk to Taiga, you know what I mean? But then I figured Nayuta was the one waiting, because, he's the family dog. Ichiya, you're back. Oh, it's just you. It's just me, huh? Way to make me feel great, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. But, Do you know if Spacey is up in her room? The lady went off to the main estate in Kamakura. She needed to talk to the boss man or so, I hear. Oh. It was pathetic, but a considerable part of me was relieved to hear that. Unfortunately, reality wasn't nice enough to let me off the hook yet. Not even after it had spent the whole day beating up on me. Well, I think I know what the talk is about. I think maybe you do too, Mr. Ichiya Shinzaki. What? How do you know that name? Heard it from Kasuga. Man, to think you're actually from such a big shot family. I never would have guessed. Fucking Kasuga! I love Kasuga. Kasuga standing in the background like, I like the drama. Kasuga also likes it when Ichiya cries. We're the same. Taiga's smile had an edge. It was a challenge. I felt a cold bead of sweat drip down my spine. Today was not a good day for my heart. I'm sorry I kept that hidden from you, but I had my reasons. Oh, I'm sure you did. And that's why we're all waiting on tenor hooks for you to explain those reasons to all of us. It's our business now, too, you know. Anyway, come on in. This isn't exactly good material for a doorway conversation, is it? It's not, no. That was that. And there was no more getting out of this. I sighed, resigned, and quietly followed Taiga inside. That was Ichiya sighing. This is a good place to stop. We're a little under time, but like, you know, instead of starting in here. Woo! This is what happens when I don't pay attention to warnings. Anyway. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.